Des Moines Public Schools recently provided updated data to the Iowa Department of Education regarding the number of dropouts in the district for the 2007-2008 academic year. The numbers represent both positive progress and work still to be done to improve the standing of students in the district. We'll explore what these numbers mean and what the district is doing to prevent dropouts next on Classroom Connections. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Connections, a public affairs discussion on issues important to students, teachers, and parents in the Des Moines Public Schools. I'm Lee McGivern, Director of Community Relations. According to recently compiled data, the district experienced a 2% increase in the total number of dropouts reported for the 2007-2008 academic year over the previous year. Obviously, numbers like that aren't something we like to see in education. So today, I'm joined by Bryce Amos, Executive Director of Learning Services for Des Moines Public Schools, who will help us break down the statistics and share with us plans the district has to counter this trend. Thanks for joining me today, Bryce.
Happy to be here, Lee.
I would like to start out and talk about where these numbers come from and how those calculations are made.
We first look at the number of students enrolled total in grades 9 through 12, and then the students who are not in attendance October 1st, 2008, which is a snapshot date set by the state. Those students would be considered our dropout students.
And is that for all the high schools across the district and any others?
That's for all programs and high schools that serve students 9 through 12.
And are those calculations something that we come up with, or who comes up with those?
The state has requirements of what a high school dropout is, and then we calculate that and submit that to the State Department for the dropout rate.
Okay. And it seems like a simple question, but how do you define what a dropout is?
Dropout is, by state definition, is a student who is not enrolled in a public high school October 1st, 2008, or whatever date they set as their snapshot date for enrollment and for dropout.
Okay. What causes a student to drop out? I know there's probably lots and lots of causes.
There's some major indicators you look at, but it's also very complex. Students drop out for academic reasons, life events, social emotional reasons. We have a lot of academics is geared at falling behind in credit. Students who may be behind in credit but overaged. Des Moines has one of the higher standards for credits to graduate with 23 credits. So it's usually several indicators why a student drops out from high school.
And not just one reason?
No. There's usually several reasons why somebody drops out of high school.
Okay, well let's talk about those numbers and any trends you might be seeing over the last 3 years.
Some of the things we're seeing over the last 3 years, a positive part of it is that our Hispanic population of students has seen an 11% decrease in dropouts, but we do see an increase in our white student population. And we're also seeing more students take longer. There are students who are in their 5th or 6th year of high school who are dropping out.
So it's really a mixed bag of both positive and not so positive information that you've gotten. Is there something that you can do to I don't know, look at those numbers and say we positively know what we're going to be doing with this group or that group?
I think what the numbers tell us is they give us a good profile of what a dropout student looks like and what characteristics they are showing before they get to that point of dropping out of high school. So looking at the demographics, looking at number of credits, looking at attendance, can show us what kind of students we need to make sure we target.
And that happens, you know, in the 4 years, traditional 4 years, you look at how many credits in freshmen and sophomores and juniors and seniors and kind of break it down like that.
Right, we look, there's so many credits you're supposed to have every year to be what we call on target to graduate.
Okay.
So we would look at those students first, but also looking at students maybe in the middle school level also that are having problems with math or reading. But then also the high school age, looking at credits earned and also attendance.
Okay, well, we're the largest district in the state.
Yes.
There aren't really any other districts like us in this state, although there are other large metro school districts. So how are we comparing with those?
When you look at Des Moines and the top 10 largest school districts in the state, what you see is that this is an urban education problem. All of our other urban school districts in the state of Iowa have a dropout rate comparable or maybe sometimes even more than what Des Moines has. So looking at those other school districts, you can be seen as an urban education dropout issue, and everybody has their own numbers that they work with. The ones that we look at recently it goes up to 2007, and Des Moines is very comparable to the other urban education network schools in the state.
Well, and I know our goal for the district is always going to be fewer dropouts, zero dropouts.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about what you're doing to reduce the number of dropouts, either among the subgroups or over the district overall.
Well, what Des Moines has, which is very special, is we have over 20 programs geared at dropout prevention.
Okay.
They start as early as first grade and go all the way up through 12th grade.
Okay.
Some of our biggest programs are Success Case Managers. Last year served over 4,000 individuals. They work with not just the child but also with the family. Giving them help and guidance and support that they need. Read and Recovery is our first grade literacy program that gets students back on target on reading. We have 2 alternative high schools, Future Pathways, which is a project-based learning, so we're teaching the kids differently because not every kid learns the same ways.
Giving them options.
Giving them options, of course. And also Scavo High School. Both of those alternative high schools have produced some great results. Future Pathways has increased graduation rates by 9% over last year.
How long has Future Pathways been in existence?
Future Pathways is in their 3rd year.
3rd year.
So they've done some great results in a very short time, and we are working on expanding those programs. Scavo High School graduated over 50 students who would have been dropouts last year, and they are on target to graduate more students this year.